Peace. This is Firstborn, another Dark Christ memoir. Earlier I was reading that scripture in Mathew chapter 8, verse 21, where one of the disciples says, before Jesus and his disciples are getting ready to move and travel, one of them says, hold up, give me time and allow me to go bury my father. And Jesus replies, let the dead bury the dead. And I was looking at that word for bury the dead, and the word for bury has to do with funeral processions, rituals and rites, the process that goes on for a funeral. And when I look at that scripture, man, I realized that those two scriptures have a lot of meaning. Because when you look at those words that are talking about the dead and burying, and it seems like he's saying, forget the funeral of your father who's dead. But in the scriptures, everything has layers of meaning. And one thing I was looking at it is that a lot of times in the scripture, when Jesus or the scriptures or the gospels are speaking about the dead, they're not talking about someone physically being dead. Okay? So when you look at those scriptures, he's saying, let the dead bury the dead. A dead, a lot of times, is talking about those who are walking around but are not aware of the life that is within them, or the life that surrounds them and connects them to each other, so that you can be alive and walking and breathing and dead. And a lot of times when you see that the disciple says, let me go bury my father, a father is representative of the thing that guides all of your thoughts. A father is what brings you into existence. It's what provides for you. It's what brings you the concepts of yourself. So when you're looking at that scripture and you understand that a father is almost like what your God is. Whatever brings you provision for your life, your awareness, your state of being. So what this disciple is saying is, let me go bury my old way of thinking. Let me go through the process of it. Give me some time to process it out. Give me some time to deal with the death of my old God that lived and kept me in death. And Jesus was basically saying that let the death deal with itself. Come follow the life that is existing and is permeating you right now. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about don't take care of your natural responsibilities. That scripture is saying, something we don't understand is that life in the Creator is always before us. But a lot of times we let the spirit of the vulture, which I call it the spirit of the vulture, is those attitudes that keeps us pondering and trying to process things that are already dead and cannot be changed. I'm going to be real. Stuff like this Obama and the race. Okay, first of all, I don't believe that a lot of these people are reacting because of race solely. And I'm not saying that everyone disagreeing with Obama is a racist. But I'm saying there's a segment who obviously have racial issues, but race is a mask for anger, and anger is a mask for fear. And fear is a mask for a sense of losing control. Issues like that, there will always be people stuck in fear, anger, and a sense of lack of control. There will always be people who cannot get over themselves. There will always be people who enjoy fomenting negative. There will always be people, even loved ones, who never want to alter their state of existence. And too often, those of us who have an opportunity to move forth into ourselves and break into an awareness of the abundant life and light energies that exist in us, we like to linger with the spirit of the vulture around the death that cannot resolve anything for us. So what Yeshua was saying was, let the death have its own process with itself. All you can do is travel forward into this light with me. And I think that's something that we miss. We allow the spirit of the vulture to keep us hovering around death often too long. To be real, I could care less about the situations that people choose to remain in. That is their decision. That's a part of their process. They're building death upon death. We have to get to a point where we stop pondering and processing through things that can't change themselves. I'm at a point now where when things are negative, if there's racist cats, let them be racist. That's where they need to be. You got cats who can't see past material religion. Let them be there. Let people remain in the places that they want to remain. Because if they're in a place of death, eventually they'll want to let themselves move beyond it too. But we have to learn how to let the dead bury the dead and be about moving forward into developing our own understanding by traveling inside with the Creator and the Spirit. So that's just where I'm coming from. Let the dead bury the dead is about leaving issues, states of being, ways we feel about things that we can't see changing, that we over worry about. Let the dead bury the dead. Traveling with the life that's with us is all we can do to progress, change, and help cooperatively evolve creation around us by doing what? Traveling with the light of the Creator inside of ourselves. We've got to learn how to let the dead bury the dead. Let old karma, negative issues, and serpent type thinking of what we see around us, let those things be. Even if we feel that way about ourselves, we have to let the dead bury the dead and focus ourselves upon traveling with the Creator. This is your boy Firstborn, another Dark Christ memoir. Yo, let the dead bury the dead. Everything you see that you can't change, let it process itself out. You move forward into the light of the Creator. Holla.